Hi guys, Billy back, and this time we're looking at the 1/6 scale, the Dude figure from The Big Lebowski by Sideshow Collectibles. Let's have a look at the box to begin with. You can see it's got some really nice motifs from the film, the Dude with some bowling pins. We've got a picture of the rug there, and we've got a picture of the figure itself there. This is the Sideshow exclusive, which comes with a hand and an extra accessory, which I'm not sure I'll be able to talk about too much on YouTube, but we'll try anyway. And you can see on the side we've got some more bowling pins and the Sideshow logo, and then on the back another picture of the figure, more bowling pins, the Big Lebowski logo, and a lovely barcode. Same on that side, bowling pins up the top, bowling pins at the bottom, and that's about it. And it's a shoebox design, so we slide out the top of this. Ooh, pop. And then on the inside you can see this is the clamshell where the figure is held. You've got this piece of card wrapped around the front saying the Dude on it, with a picture of his sort of motif from his cardigan on there, which is a really nice touch. And we slide this piece off, and then you get a second clamshell on the back which holds the stand and the extra hands. And that's about it. Okay, let's actually get this figure out and have a look at exactly what it's like. Oh, I've been really looking forward to this one. I've been so tired of Hot Toys and their Marvel and Star Wars. They're all great, don't get me wrong, but I really do want to see more new figures and new characters coming out that aren't regurgitations of 12 different figures that we've had before. So getting something like this is a really nice, refreshing change. Okay, so here he is just straight out of the box, and I have to say I've got a very specific song in my head right now, and if you've seen the movie you know the one I'm thinking about, and it just keeps playing on loop over and over in my head as I'm playing around with this guy and, you know, learning what it can do and checking out the accessories and everything. I'm instantly reminded of the movie, and this is really giving me good feel vibes from that film. But before we get into the actual figure itself, let's have a look at a few of the accessories. It's a fairly basic black base, but it's got this little transfer on top that you can stick down, and it's got the motif of the rug on there, and it's got a slightly rough texture to it, very matte, pretty nice. But I have to say the rest of the stand is a little lackluster. I mean, the black plastic is a little rough and it just looks a bit horrible around these edges here. I don't know what they've done, but it looks all scratched and stressed. Look, there's even like a horrible piece here. I don't know. I mean, it says Sideshow Collectibles on it, so it's their own proprietary stand. It feels pretty basic, and you've got this black stem here that can slide in and out, but it swivels around quite freely in there. And then you've got the crotch grabber that you can extend up and down. These bits on the end here are pretty secure, pretty strong, so I do like that. It's not like the cheap plastic crotch grabbers with that tiny plastic cap on. These look like they can stand the test of time. Overall, it's a fairly nice stand that can complement the figure. However, it is let down a little bit by some slightly cheap design choices and flaws. We can see he comes with 4 different glasses of White Russian, and these are probably my favorite accessory. They look really good. They're really well made. You can see they've actually got White Russian in there, and it's got that slightly cream look to it, and then they've put the ice cubes in as well, which is a nice touch. They look really good. At certain angles they actually look like real glass as well. Really top-notch work from Sideshow on these. I think they did a really great job. But I think this is my favourite one just because the glass is a little bit more fancy. So yeah, he's always going to be holding that one for me, I think. And what is the Dude without a very special item? I'm not going to say what it is because, I don't know, YouTube will probably do me for it. It's actually really well painted as well. It's got like a little tip of ash on the end there. It's got like sort of cream hue around it where it's been lit. It's very well made, and it's appropriately sized as well. And this can actually go and be held with one special edition hand that they've included with the exclusive version, which is this hand here, and it can just sort of flex and fit into the fingers here. We'll just slide it in, and it looks really cool. It looks very relaxed. You can have them holding it any way you like. But again, talking about the hands, they've got this really nice fading through the hands all the way through. They've sort of got a really nice Caucasian look to them, but they've got slight pink tips to the ends here and on the knuckles. Very well painted. I actually like what they've done with the hands. I think it's a good job, and they all come with wrist pegs. I just don't know why every other company doesn't do it now. Just put every hand with a wrist peg now. It would be so much easier for everybody involved. And he comes with another sort of cigarette holding hand. You can hold it between his 2 fingers there, or you can have him pointing it, or, you know, pretend it's a gun, because, you know, the Dude is all about the violence. And then we've got this hand, which is a bowling ball hand, and that can fit into the finger holes of the bowling ball here. and we can see that fits in very nice and snug. The bowling ball is actually quite heavy. I'm quite impressed. Big thick bit of plastic. My only issue with it is the imperfection just here where they've cut it away from the mold, and that is a bit of a letdown because I would have thought Sideshow would have absolutely nailed this and made it absolutely perfect. And if we take the hand out again, we can see they've painted the finger holes, but they look sort of hand painted. They're not very cleanly painted. It's a bit sloppy, but then I wonder if the dude did that himself. Who knows? I didn't really get a good look at the bowling ball anyway in the film. And if you're going to have him carrying a bowling ball around, he's going to have a bag for it, isn't he? And you've got this really sort of nice looking pleather bag, very nicely finely stitched on the handles there. Really well made. I really like the look of this. It looks great. It's got a sturdy base on the bottom like a bowling bag would, and it's got like a little fine detailed zip up here. Again, these zips are a little bit too big for my liking, but it's 1/6 scale. I don't think if you really got 1/6 scale zips, you wouldn't be able to use them at all. But if we open it up, we can see that that opens, and we can slot the bowling ball in. Okay, so maybe you can't close it, but yeah, you can carry it like that. I'm not risking breaking that zip right now. But it's very nice that he comes with a bowling ball and a bowling bag that you can carry around if you so wish. And then he comes with a whole bunch of other hands, including a few more relaxed, expressive hands, gripping hands. I'm not entirely sure what this is, to be honest. It looks like it could hold something else. And then we've got more cigarette holding hands. Next up, he's got a pair of sunglasses that are really, really nice. You can see his eyes behind there. Really well painted. They slot in quite nicely into the side of the head there. They look pretty seamless now. Makes him just look super laid back and cool. And that's it for separate accessories. Okay, let's just take a look at the figure itself. Okay, and here's the dude, super relaxed. This does put a smile on my face. Sideshow have done a really good job at bringing that essence of the dude into 1/6 scale figure form to the point where I'm actually smiling. But let's have a look at the head sculpt itself. Oh, that definitely looks like Jeff Bridges. Yeah, I'm super happy with that sculpt. Look at the paint app that they've gone into detail with this. Slight reddening and pinkishness. Pink hues around the cheeks. I think the lips may be a tad too pink maybe, but nothing too bad. And those really deep piercing blue eyes. And the really subtle paint job they've done on the eyebrows and the beard. Really, really nice. And even with the smile, you can see he's got those sort of smile lines around the cheeks that Jeff Bridges does have. And the hair work, while it might look a little matte in the actual camera, which it does, there is a slight shine to it in real life. So it does look a little bit better, but every time you shine bright lights directly on it, it does seem to not reflect the light enough and sort of absorbs it. You can see the layering in the hair there. It's quite dark up near the roots and then it goes a bit fine near the ends. And the sculpting is pretty good. Normally I'd say that the sculpting from Sideshow is soft, but they seem to have caught a good balance here. However, one of the issues this hair is given is once we bring this down, this hair piece here has damaged the collar on this cardigan. It's very subtle, but once you put it down on there, it's digging right into the collar there and it's caused some damage. I have messaged Sideshow asking if they would replace the cardigan, and then coming down looking into the cardigan as well. When Sideshow was showing it off on their channel, it did look a little thick to me and it looked really puffy on him, but I don't think they futzed with it enough and actually brought it down so that it looks a bit more weighty. Once you get the hair under the collar and then pull the cardigan and futz with it a little bit more, it does look a little bit more natural. And then you can see all the pattern looks exactly like it did in the film. It's like really close. Even the colour of the cardigan is just, I can't really complain with the little woolen stitchy bits and everything. And surprisingly, even though it looked a bit thick in their videos, it's reasonably thin around here. I thought it'd be a lot thicker, but it's not. Now the t-shirt underneath here, saggy baggy top that he wears, because he's just throwing clothes on and they sort of sag around him and he's a bit frumpy. That's part of his character, isn't it? My only complaint is the t-shirt looks a little bit too clean. Maybe they went with too bright a white maybe. And I was really surprised by just how many times he changes costume in the film. Whenever I think of the dude, he's always in a dressing gown and shorts. But actually he has quite a few different sets of clothing that he wears in the film. But then coming down we can see these lounge pants, we'll call them. And these are, again, really super thin and they feel quite linen-y, but they've got like a smoothness to them, like the inside of a lining of a jacket. Look at the stitching right here. The pockets are real. And these do look like real lounge pants. They've actually got that slight sort of lining in them that makes them look real. And then coming down, look at those jellies. Some great detail. They've even painted the feet, and they've still put the jellies on over the top. And these look just fantastic, honestly. So well sculpted. Like, they're one of those things that people, when they're walking past your shelf, they're going to love the figure, but then they're going to look at the jellies and go, oh man, those look great. Coming down and having a look at the body that they used, I would have liked if they'd have kept the quality up that they have around the neck area. He's got like rubber and it's painted, looks really good. But unfortunately, they've decided to cheap out on the outside bits. So these arms are quite plastic and very shiny. So if you wanted to take this cardigan off and just have him posed with just a t-shirt on, it's not going to look very good. And then instead of actually building a new body, they've just added a padded undersuit onto a normal sort of body. And I can actually feel the abs underneath this padding, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is. If we're going to look at articulation, this guy, he has way more than you would ever need for the dude. This isn't an action hero. This isn't a guy who's going to be jumping around, you know, Marvel superhero and Indiana Jones in it up all over the place. He's going to be pretty laid back. So this is going to give you way more articulation than you probably ever need. But he has a lot of head articulation. He can look down pretty far. He can tilt left and right. However, he can't look up very well because the hair stops him from doing so. Then coming down, there is some articulation in the neck as well, so you can push it down a little bit further. Arms wise, he can get up way beyond the T-pose. He can go all the way up, all the way back, and he does have a bicep swivel. There is a double bend in the arms, and the hands are on wrist pegs, so you get all the motion you would ever need from those. Waist wise, he can turn left and right a hell of a lot, which is really good. He can crunch forward about that much. He can lean back quite far. This is a very laid back guy, so I'm glad he can lean back as much as he needs to. Legs wise, his feet can go up super high. It's crazy. He does have thigh swivel. There is a double bend in the knees, and his feet are on foot pegs. So there is a reasonable amount of articulation. However, it is blocked a little bit by the end of the foot there. It's pretty zen-like. He can Van Damme about that much, and the legs can go back that far. And I know Sideshow have already done it, but yeah, he can go cross-legged and be very zen-like. And yeah, he can definitely zen it up with some Tai Chi moves if he's in the mood. Okay, what negatives do I have about the figure? Well, simply the body is pretty nice in the upper torso area, but the rest of it feels a little bit cheap. I'm not a massive fan of that stand. They do give you that little doobie there, but there's only one of them, and yeah, you could lose that very easily. Also, the hair can actually damage the collar of the cardigan if you're not careful with it. But what do I actually like about the figure? Now, the head sculpt I really like. It does look like Jeff Bridges. It does have nice sort of details in the skin work, and it also has a very nice sculpt in the hair. Details in the cardigan are damn near perfection, apart from the zip. It looks really, really good. And I really like those sweatpants. They're just absolutely brilliant. And those jellies, mwah. And my only niggle really is, after you pay Sideshow's price and then pay for import taxes and stuff like that, you are looking at Hot Toys prices, but not just any Hot Toys. We're moving closely into the deluxe Hot Toys prices, and I don't know if it warrants that deluxe price point, because yeah, you get 4 different White Russians and you get a bowling ball, but there's no sort of elaborate stand. They don't give you a full carpet rug. The one I got, I had to buy from Amazon. Check up Amazon. It's I think it's rug mouse mats or something like that. You can just get one of those, which will look really nice in your display. But it is just one of those things that if you are going to be going out and charging these prices, it would be nice if you actually got a little bit more bang for your buck. I mean, what's missing from this figure? Well, quite a few tiny little accessories that they could have put in the box. They would have given us the tiny clipped off little toe with the green toenail paint on it. That would have been an absolutely brilliant touch. They could have given you the briefcase where the money was in. They could have given you like a small picture frame of the Time magazine mirror with, you know, where he looks in the mirror and sees the Time magazine sort of thing, Man of the Year. That would have been a nice touch. They could have given us like the tweezers or something that he holds his doobie with while he's sitting in the bath. a carton of milk that you could be pouring into his White Russian. There's just so many little things that, so like, he's strange because he's one of those characters where tiny little innocuous accessories were quite a big thing in the movie. So they could have loaded him up with an entire tray of different quirky accessories. Overall, I really like the figure. I love it. Now, I do have a dude in my figure collection. He's gonna look fantastic. And that's it. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you do me a favor now. If you get a fuck out of my cave, I'm gonna go put this on the shelf, probably next to Bro Thor. Thanks a lot guys. Bye bye.